The helicopter went down hard, a mangled mess of metal and fire. It was supposed to be a routine trip, a quick hop to Harare for President Manang Gaga, but fate, it seemed, had other plans. The crash sent shockwaves through Zimbabwe. This was no ordinary accident. This was a presidential chopper. This was an attack on the very heart of power. Whispers turned to accusations, fingers pointed mostly at Vice President Chiwenga. He wasn't on board, conveniently on official business in Bulawayo. A coincidence? Perhaps. Or maybe something more sinister. The crash became a symbol of the crumbling trust between Manang Gaga and Chiwenga. The two men, once comrades in arms, were now locked in a deadly dance of power. The crash was a turning point. The stakes were higher, the gloves were off. Zimbabwe watched, holding its breath, as the drama unfolded. The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. Manang Gaga, visibly shaken, retreated into his inner circle. His paranoia grew with each passing day. Every shadow seemed to hold a threat, every whisper a potential plot. Chiwenga, for his part, remained defiant. He denied any involvement in the crash. He called it a tragedy, a terrible accident, but the whispers persisted. They swirled through the halls of power. They echoed in the streets of Harare. Chiwenga was a powerful man, a former military commander with deep ties to the armed forces. He had the motive, the means, and the opportunity. The crash had exposed the cracks in their relationship. The cracks were now widening into a chasm, threatening to swallow them both. Manang Gaga was a man possessed. He saw enemies everywhere. He trusted no one, not even his own shadow. The crash had shattered his sense of security. He was a prisoner in his own palace, haunted by the fear of betrayal. His paranoia was palpable. It oozed from his every pore. He surrounded himself with loyalists, yes-men who told him what he wanted to hear. Chiwenga's absence from key events only fueled Manang Gaga's suspicions. He missed Manang Gaga's birthday celebration. He skipped important government meetings. He was sending a message of defiance, a message that said, "I'm not afraid of you." The stage was set for a showdown. Two titans locked in a battle for supremacy. The fate of Zimbabwe hung in the balance. Section 4. A rift too wide to bridge. The rift between Manang Gaga and Chiwenga was now a gaping wound. It festered, poisoning the already fragile political landscape. The ruling ZANU-PF party was split down the middle. Loyalties were tested. Alliances shifted like sand in the wind. The military, a silent but potent force, watched closely. Their loyalty, it seemed, lay with Chiwenga, the man who had once commanded them. It was a dangerous game of chess. One wrong move could plunge the country into chaos. The people of Zimbabwe, weary of turmoil, looked on with a mixture of fear and resignation. The future was uncertain. The only thing that was clear was that something had to give. The tension was unsustainable. The question was, who would blink first? Section 5. Zimbabwe at a crossroads. Zimbabwe stood at a crossroads. One path led to reconciliation, to a peaceful resolution of the power struggle. The other path led to darkness, to violence and instability. The country was grappling with a multitude of challenges. The economy was in shambles, inflation was rampant, unemployment was sky high. The healthcare system was on the verge of collapse. And now this, a power struggle that threatened to tear the country apart. The international community watched with concern. Sanctions, imposed after years of human rights abuses, continued to bite. Zimbabwe needed a leader, a unifier. But who would it be? Manang Gaga, the paranoid incumbent, or Chiwenga, the ambitious challenger? Section 6. The future hangs in the balance. The future of Zimbabwe hung precariously in the balance. The power struggle between Manang Gaga and Chiwenga was more than just a personal feud. It was a microcosm of the larger challenges facing the nation: corruption, impunity, a lack of accountability. These were the issues that needed to be addressed. The world watched, holding its breath, waiting to see what would happen next. Would Zimbabwe rise from the ashes of its past? Or would it succumb to the same old demons? Only time would tell. One thing was certain: the road ahead would be long and arduous. The people of Zimbabwe deserved better. Let's hope they get it.